Hey guys, Eric Corner here, BPIsecurity.com, weekly announcement. I wanted to talk briefly today about a blog I did 2 days ago titled Expectations and Responsibilities. And in that blog, I talked about in the private sector, once a year, most employees go through an evaluation phase where their supervisor evaluates them. And on that evaluation form, they're normally general categories and specific categories to what it is you're expected to do every year or throughout the year. A general category would be something like works well with others, and then that supervisor would evaluate you on a subjective perception, whether they think that you meet expectations or exceed expectations. That's subjective. Then there are specific categories on the evaluation, such as reports to work on time. That's an objective evaluation because they can point to factors within the year that dictate whether or not you've been to work on time. What I was talking about in that blog was specific to the wishes and parameters of a detail. Now, one of the things that we do here at BPI is when we have a long-term detail, we set up what we call the SOP, Standard Operating Procedures. And in those Standard Operating Procedures, it dictates and delineates what it is that the specialists are assigned to do and what they're responsible to do, so that everybody knows clearly what their responsibilities are and what those expectations are consistent with those responsibilities. What happens is you get one or two specialists on the detail that feel that they need to overdo it so that the client likes them. And it happens. We had a guy several years back traveled around the world with one of my clients, and he just could not get out of his own way in order to make the client, the protectee, like him. He was doing things that was outside of our responsibility just to make her happy. And it made it difficult for the other guys on the detail to do the same thing when we switched them out. Let me give you an example. Let's say your protectee says, tonight I'm going to meet a colleague at XYZ restaurant. I need you to go out there, set it up, do what it is that you do. Yes, sir. You go out there, you do the protective advance work, you smooth the concierge or the wait staff and say, I need a table tonight. I have a person coming in that wants to have a private meeting tonight. In the process of you talking to them, they give you a private booth. Perfect. You come back, you tell the client everything, you protect it, everything is fine. Oh, by the way, sir, I got you a private booth. That's going over and above what you're supposed to do. You're expected to get him something, but the fact that you got the private booth, it's not necessarily telling that you got that. It isn't. It isn't. But that's one of those prime examples of where you're trying to shine and make yourself look better than everybody else. You're expected to do that. Okay, he gets there and has dinner with his colleague. At the end of the night, they leave pretty late. Colleague says, I caught a cab here. I'll catch a cab back. You then volunteer the follow vehicle to take him home so he can make it home safe. What you've just done is planted a seed in your protectee's mind that you'll never be able to get rid of, because now he thinks that vehicle, which you are responsible for, is not important to you anymore. You will not be able to tell him no again because you've already planted the seed in him. And it happens on details where the expectation of the client exceeds your responsibility. And it's hard to marry those back up again because you're not going to tell them no because you're so worried about making sure that you go over and above what you're expected to do in order to make him happy and to be liked. Be careful of those guys on those details, because what happens is the client's expectations starts to hijack the detail. And that happens. So that's what that blog was all about. It wasn't about evaluations. I was specifically talking about expectations and responsibilities of a detail as it relates to specifics to the detail and non-specifics of the detail. And more importantly, when you have specialists on the detail that want to go over and above and get above their skis by trying to ingratiate themselves with the client or the protectee all the time to make themselves look good, and in doing so, the detail gets hijacked and it makes it difficult for other specialists to work on that detail. So that's it. So I want to reiterate again, make sure you sign up and register for the PSC next month. I'm going, as I said, I'm going. I'll see everybody there, and I'll close as I always do. Remember, when you're on the detail, you have two protectees, the man and the woman in the back right seat and your reputation. Either one get harmed, you're done.